The Atlanta Falcons finish off their 2023 on the road, and despite being 7-9, can still win the South if they win this game and Tampa Bay loses. They face a New Orleans Saints that's also still alive, also with the division title possibility.
Why Falcons made wrong head coach hire with Raheem Morris. After weeks of interviews and speculation that come with every new head coaching search, the Atlanta Falcons finally settled on Los Angeles Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. And yes, settled seems like the appropriate word for the hire. Over the last couple of weeks, the Falcons were said to have conducted some 14 interviews in hopes of filling the head coaching vacancy that Arthur Smith left when he was fired some 24 hours after the last regular season game. Seemingly every name under the sun or that was rumored to be a favorite to be the head coach in the league was interviewed by the Falcons, from Michigan's Jim Harbaugh to former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick to Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, among a slew of others. Yet, by the end of the search, which was said to be extensive, owner Arthur Blank and general manager Terry Fontenot seemingly went with familiarity to the organization. Why was Raheem Morris good for the Falcons' job now and not back in 2022? Just 4 years ago when the Falcons fired now Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, for now, Dan Quinn after just 5 games into his 6th season, they replaced him for the rest of the season with Raheem Morris, who was the then defensive coordinator for Atlanta. After going 4-2 in his first 6 games as the interim coach, rumors were that the Falcons could make Morris the permanent head coach. But then Morris and the Falcons lost their last 5 games, and Blank quickly went into rebuilding most of the entire organization, starting from the inside out, including finding a new head coach. Morris was interviewed back in 2020, maybe if for nothing else as a courtesy, and that of appeasing the NFL Rooney Rule. But the Falcons instead went on to hire one of the hotter names among up-and-coming coaches in Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Unlike in 2020, when the Falcons at least attempted to go with someone who was up-and-coming in the league, who could have been one of the next best head coaches in the league, they instead went this time with a more or less retread option that barely had any sort of success in his last stint as a head coach. Morris was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach from 2009 until 2011. In those 3 seasons, he went a dismal 17-31.356, with 1 winning season in his second year, going 10-6, although still missing the playoffs, according to Pro Football Reference. And as mentioned, his short stint as the interim with the Falcons in 2022 went well below .500, going 4-7. Like with most openings across the NFL, coordinators with recent success are usually given first looks when acquiring new head coaches, which Morris did have. In 2021, he helped the Rams win a Super Bowl, with a defense that ranked in the top half of the league in scoring defense, allowing just 21.9 points per game. The 2022 season was a different story, however, but the Rams struggled overall, not just defensively. In 2023, Morris helped deliver a much younger defense that finished 20th in yards allowed, 337.9 yards per game, and 18th in scoring defense, 22.3 points per game, that helped get the Rams back into the postseason. That apparently was enough for the Falcons to decide on making him their 15th head coaching hire. There are no certainties in anything, especially in the NFL and head coaches. Morris very well could be the best coach the Falcons have ever had when it's all said and done, which isn't saying much. Historically speaking, head coaches who get second chances are a mixed bag. For every Belichick and Andy Reid, there's a Jack Del Rio and Rex Ryan. But even looking at those as examples, none had the resume of Morris in their first stint.